You better love somebody. You better love somebody. You better love somebody. It's late. You better love somebody. Don't wait. You better love somebody. Don't tempt fate. You're gonna pull you just a little too far. One night.
We now welcome to Larry King Live, along a top musician and actor. New CD out, Rick Springfield. The new CD is, there you see its cover, The Day After Yesterday, a collection of his favorite songs from the 1980s. 55 years old, still rocking. What are you an actor who sings or a singer who acts?
Oh, I'm definitely a singer first. Well, I'm a writer first. I mean, I started writing when I was about 13, 12, 13. So that's always been my focus. I mean, acting kind of came along when I'm originally from Australia, and I came over to America to pursue my music career, but it was kind of hit and miss, so I went into acting to pay the light bills, which was really stupid because...
Did a soap, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I started getting acting for money in between gigs, but where all the, the actors were waiting tables to get acting gigs, so I was pretty naive, but I think it worked because I actually got some work. And
you don't sound Australian.
No, I don't. I have a couple of beers and it comes out. Yeah.
Tell me about the CD. Great title, The Day After Yesterday. Is one of the songs?
No, actually, it's a reference to the fact that they're old songs brought up to today, but it's not, brand new music. I mean, that
Why
was
the 80s?
Well, it's the 70s and 80s, and it's doing a cover record now is certainly not an entirely original idea, but I wanted to do something different, so I picked songs that were known from the era that I became known in, and songs that they're basically songs I wish I'd written, because I'm a writer, and they're songs that when I heard them, occasionally a writer will hear a song, oh, damn, I wish I'd thought of that first.
It would have been a nice title, too.
Yeah. It's just the subtitle, definitely. But so they're all, most of them are really well-known songs. There's a couple of unknown choices, like there's a great Liz Wright jazz song called Blue Rose, and a couple of unknown, but most of them are pretty well-known.
Do you tour a lot?
Yeah, we do about 100 shows a year. So I really, I took, at the end of the 80s, I took a couple of years off when my sons were born, too, because I wanted to be there, and I just, it was just a natural thing that I took time off to be with them. I became a house husband, actually, for a little while. Really? Yeah, it was an amazing thing. I have an incredible bond with both my sons now because of that. They're 19 and 16. And I had a great dad, and it was a really meaningful thing to me to do. My dad had just died, actually, when my sons were born, so there was the whole, I'm now the father, and my father's gone. It was a pretty deep thing, and it was a very, very amazing time for me.
Have you had a tough time overcoming the ups and downs of your life?
Yeah, I've certainly spent my time in therapy. I've had about 5 or 6 years of deep personal therapy, and definitely there've been some, issues, some public, some not public, but
mostly about relationships?
Yeah, and I always wanted a long career. I mean, I've always,
You've had that.
Yeah, well, thank you. I've always, Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, those guys who went on and on and on, they've always been in the back of my mind, and I knew it would involve up and, valleys and peaks. I've certainly had my valleys, and I've certainly had my peaks.
What got you through the valley to the peak?
If anything, I have persistence. I tell my kids the 3 most important things: and never give up, never give up, never give up. And I really have employed that myself through the really hard times. And
therapy help a lot?
Not so much. I mean, I don't think therapy never cures anything, but it makes you aware of your demons so that, they're not pushing you blindly. I mean, you get a push, you go, okay, all right, well, that's what that is, and you recognize your demons, I think, is what therapy did for me.
Happy now?
No, I don't think happy is a word that I could ever string.
What's a good word?
I'm still searching for happiness, I mean, I think about my family, and I'm incredibly happy. I feel with, a great feeling, but then I think about other things. I think about how I feel about, my ups and downs in my head, and I've definitely had it's been a battle with the demons in my head more than anything.
Depression?
Yeah, I've definitely had my share of depression. There's actually a song on my last record called My Depression that details my it's like a 3-minute autobiography.
There are a lot of great drugs for that now, aren't there? I mean,
God bless drugs. Yeah.
prescription drugs.
Yes, I know. I've been on and off those kind of things. The only thing with being a writer is that for me, like the Prozac and that stuff takes me into a different area, so that I feel I don't connect to the things that I want to write about.
Has it affected performance?
No, because when I'm on stage, that's a whole other beast.
Explain that.
Whole other beast. I truly, I could look at me on stage and go, who is that? I don't recognize that person. But when I'm on stage, it's a part of me, and normally I'm very shy, although I may not see him now. But there's a part of me, like I'm the kind of guy at a party that sits in the corner with a glass of wine and doesn't really, want to talk. But on stage, I'm an absolute extrovert, and it is part of me. But that's the only place that comes out.
So it's like transformed.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I recognize who that is, but it's not someone that I'm in touch with very often. It's only when I'm on stage that I truly.
Is it hard when you come off?
It stays for a little while. It kind of buzzes around me for a little while, but then I kind of put my glasses on and get dressed and close up,
The new record is out now, right?
It's out July 12th, July 14th, I think it's released.
You'll be touring the summer?
Absolutely.
Great seeing you, Rick. Continue. Good luck, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Rick Springfield. The new one is The Day After Yesterday. We'll be back with more after this.
Tell me, what can I